Well, this is a huge moment for Kamala Harris, Lisa. It wasn't all that long ago, just over a month, if you can believe, that everyone here thought it would be Joe Biden getting onto this stage and formally accepting his party's endorsement for a second term. But the president's decision to withdraw from the race amid that extraordinary internal pressure and to get behind his vice president has led Kamala Harris to this moment. She will need to use this speech to try to connect with as many American voters as possible. These are huge, made-for-TV events, these conventions. Millions of people tune in from home. Many more would be seeing a lot of the clips from these addresses on their social media feeds. And a lot of Americans still wouldn't know all that much about Kamala Harris. She has been on the national stage for a number of years now. She was a senator before becoming vice president. But she still has more work to do in trying to connect with people, to try to give them a sense of who she is and what she stands for. And it will be interesting to watch today, Australian time, for how much time she spends on policy. Her policy detail has been somewhat light so far. We don't have a clear picture of how much she might be trying to differentiate herself from Joe Biden. So plenty on the line for the vice president. If she wins, she would, of course, be America's first female president. And we've seen some of the women coming into this arena already, symbolically dressed in suffragette white. One of them was Jill Lewis. She's a friend of Kamala Harris's. They went to college together. They were in the same sorority. And she had this to say about the Kamala Harris she knows.
Kamala is amazingly cool, calm, and collected. She's loving, she's warm, and that laugh is genuine. It's the through line. When she first hit the media stage, one of the things that really made me say, that is my line sister, that is the person that I met in college, was her laugh, her smile, and her joy.
Look, the Democrats certainly want to portray this as a huge love-in, and there is a lot of that going on, but we can't ignore that there have been tensions there as well over the Middle East, Jade. So what's been going on?
Yeah, the party has really been trying to project this message of unity, given in part that very messy period in which Joe Biden did come under so much pressure to abandon his campaign. So people here in their speeches are paying tribute to the president, but really looking ahead to Kamala Harris. But there are also divisions within the Democratic Party over the war in Gaza. There have been pro-Palestinian protests taking place all week outside the convention venue. They haven't been as large as organisers had been hoping for, but there are also a number of delegates here who aren't supporting Kamala Harris. They're the state party officials, representatives who formally nominate the president, and they are angry at the way that the Biden administration has handled the conflict in the Middle East. They want the US to stop providing military support to Israel, and they're also upset that a Palestinian American wasn't given the opportunity to speak at this convention. So there's a small group of people staging a sit-in outside the venue at the moment. We caught up with one of those delegates.
Incredibly disappointing. We are all proud Democrats. To be elected to these roles, you typically have to be someone who's engaged with the party for a significant amount of time. A lot of us are career Democrats who do this professionally. We feel that our party is betraying our values with this decision.
Now, there is an enormous amount of attention, as you'd expect, on the Democratic Party at the moment. Lisa, in the same way that there was for Republicans when they held their convention only recently. Donald Trump initially had suggested that he might lay low this week, but he changed those plans. He's been campaigning in swing states, those key battlegrounds that are going to decide the outcome of this election. And today he has very deliberately travelled to the border between the US and Mexico. He has made immigration a huge focus of his campaign, and he's criticised Kamala Harris over her handling of that issue in the early days of her vice presidency. So he's really trying to create this split screen where there is an enormous celebration obviously happening in Chicago for the vice president, but Donald Trump at the same time trying to highlight one of those policy areas that he sees as one of her biggest weaknesses.